That's it. I'm calling John Livestream, the guy that invented live streams. Sorry, the suspense was killing me. I had to had to start up the stream a little early. There we go. Cool. Got all my posts up. Sick. Oof. Oh man. I have been tired like a dog the past couple of days. And I have a feeling that it's probably just the winter weather and whatever, doing its thing. Regardless, it has not been great for my ability to function day to day. I've been trying to hold it together as well as I can, and that involves this live stream. I didn't stream yesterday for a couple of different reasons. I wasn't as tired yesterday as I am today. The reasons surrounding that are a little bit different, and I can go into them in a little bit. I won't give too much detail, because it could involve, like, some potentially sensitive stuff. Yeah. Alright, we got a decent compliment in this room here. Yeah. So, actually, before I even get to that, somebody followed that I don't think I caught on stream. I don't know, guys. 543. Thank you very much for the follow. It's good to have more eyeballs on the live stream. I haven't been entirely reliable with respect to my stream schedule. I don't know. Times like this in the winter, I have a hard time keeping up my motivation. But as I kind of alluded to yesterday, that wasn't actually the issue. So recently, my kid sister got her wisdom teeth taken out. And so she's still recovering from that. And so yesterday she actually wasn't feeling great. So I really didn't want to vote for Biden, but I guess I'm really forced to now. Yeah, I'll get to that too. We'll see how that plays out. So yeah, yesterday, my sister wasn't feeling great. She's still recovering. And then there was also, I think, cleaning crew came by, and like all of these question marks, there were a couple different question marks, and like I was the only other person in the house, and they all kind of surrounded the time that I was streaming, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just not stream today, not a huge deal, and I'll worry about that tomorrow, and thankfully, my sister's doing quite a bit better now. At least I haven't heard of any additional incidents of like her really not feeling good. But anyways, that's why I didn't stream yesterday. So I'm gonna do a short stream today. I'll do a short stream tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Friday, I think, with like a regular length stream. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. But yeah, you mentioned not wanting to vote for Biden. Let's be real here. Nobody really wants to vote for Biden, and if you do, you're absolutely insane. But yeah, look. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the consideration is in the general election. There's going to be somebody with a D next to their name, and then there's going to be somebody with an R next to their name. And in that situation, you should always choose the person with a D next to their name in the current political climate, because the Democrats are to the left of the Republicans, and they actually kind of care about maintaining democratic institutions, and they do not have an active desire to kill us all. I've been known to really frown upon the game of the lesser of two evils. That's a huge problem that the United States suffers from in particular. But look, as long as that game exists, we have to play it. Because if we choose not to play it, that's just us losing the game. I've talked about this before. with like the voting discourse being like, well, Biden sucks and so does Trump. Honestly, there's no comparison between these two candidates. Like, you know, I don't I don't really like the idea of defending Joe Biden. Uh, but look, he's not Trump. Yeah, they have a passive desire. Yeah, they'll sort of the problem with the Democrats is that they are liberals ultimately, and they will sort of mill by idly as things continue to get worse. But they are not accelerationists. They will not make things worse and like actively be like, yes, we're pursuing this policy because these people are degenerates that need to be purged from society, whatever. You know, very much like this is a race to the bottom, like more so than a lot of other elections, that I've experienced in my lifetime. It just from the perspective of like observing it, this race in particular is a race to the bottom. With like every other day you see, oh yeah, Trump plans to be a dictator, and then you look back at the Democratic sides, like Biden doubles down on support for Israel, Trump says some 1488 shit, Biden is saying that like he doesn't care about Palestine, whatever. And honestly, for me, look, I think the biggest takeaway is that Biden is really bad on the one issue of Israel-Palestine, and that is, in an ethical sense, unconscionable. But Trump is bad on every issue, and that's worse. Hello, Flat Earth Dennis 69. Welcome back. But I think there's some solace to be taken in one thing, and that is that, like, after this election, assuming the Republicans lose not just the presidential election, but down ballot, they're kind of fucked because their party is the party of Trump. He is dragging the Republican Party all the way down with him. And just another cherry on top of that cake is Ron DeSantis. One of the guys who graduated from my school is running for a state house in Georgia. That's cool if they're running as like a Democrat or left independent. But if they're running as a Republican, that's cringe, and I hope they lose. Yeah, that's my take. Very, like, I'm happy for you, or sorry that happened. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, relating to the campaign trail. Ron DeSantis. I mentioned this in the, or I alluded to it at the very least. The Republican primaries are properly taking place now, which is to say that they're basically done. Farmers are protesting in my country. They should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Very true. Many such cases. This is not actually reflective of my political views. That was a joke. Ron DeSantis has officially dropped out of the Republican presidential race, and he endorsed Donald Trump, which basically means that Trump has the nomination guaranteed. There were quite a few institutionalist Republicans, not that many, not enough to defeat Trump, but a fair amount that were that liked DeSantis rather than Trump in the presidential race. And now it's just a contest between Trump and Nikki Haley. And in no world does Nikki Haley win that. She's just terminally uncharismatic, as are a lot of politicians. And I think we probably know the drill about that at this point. And to top it all off, she's also a woman and an ethnic minority, which means that the GOP would never vote for her. Let's be real. Not in the primary, anyways. The Republican base would probably vote for anybody in the general. For real, though, they drove several kilometers in tractors worth. Worth hundreds of thousands of euros in protests how poor they are. We should allow them to destroy the environment, give them more cash. Well, I don't I don't particularly appreciate the whole anti-environmentalist sentiment, but I can definitely appreciate the fact that like they are poor. You know, the I am sympathetic to that as a sign of protest, because you know a lot of times people who work like the really poor paying jobs have to use super expensive equipment. You know, farmers, you know, the tractors they use are expensive and all that, but you know they don't actually get to see any of that money that gets invested into farming equipment and marketing and whatever. But you know, it's possible that this could also be a Netherlands sort of BBB type situation. You know, farmer villager movement and those guys. Can't say for sure. What's this? There's this one pro-life Dem that keeps trying to run. I don't know why she doesn't give it up. She's in Georgia. She probably has just missed the memo that the Democratic Party doesn't do that anymore. I don't know if you would believe it, but until pretty recently, pro-life Democrats used to be relatively welcome in the South as far as the Democratic Party goes. You know, my dad has actual work experience in the Democratic Party. He worked on some political campaigns for the DCCC, and he said a lot of the Democrats from the South were, you know, in the 1990s they were anti-abortion and they were pro-tobacco, and we're not all that removed from that political climate. You know, remember the South is a pretty conservative place, even as far as Democrats go. They're like a little bit more conservative down there than in other states on average. Oh, all the farmers I know are millionaires. They just came to farm more land and burn more unclean fuel. Okay, I gotcha. So this isn't like the farm workers protesting. This is like the owners of the farm and those like agribusiness companies. I gotcha. Yeah, in that case, that's pretty cringe. And I see that potentially playing out in some fashion similar to the BBB in the Netherlands, where maybe the far right tries to use that as fuel for like faux populism and be like, wow, look at the farmers that are protesting here. Her name is Teresa Bukovac. Let me look this up. Yes. Anti-abortion Democrat runs for president. Well, that's in September. Yeah, she's not going to get anywhere within the Democratic Party, thankfully. When the main calling card, the main policy objective of the Democrats right now, and I think rightly so, is to protect the right to abortion because Roe v. Wade was overturned. Being anti-abortion right now is a death sentence to your political career, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. Really not driving great, but you know what, actually, my dad mentioned this, that he, like, on the rare case where he experiences depression, and my mom has said this as well, his reaction times actually slow down. So I wouldn't be super surprised if that's what's happening here. By the time Trump and Biden pass away, AOC will be old enough, right? Yeah, you have to be 35 years old to run for president of the U.S. I think it would be a good idea, I think, if AOC wanted to do that. It should make the minimum 70 to be more realistic. Well, presidents weren't always this old. But in order to run a political campaign, you have to be wealthy. And there are some. Who do we have besides her? Katie Porter. Katie Porter. Not we don't have to be real. There isn't a whole lot of potential candidates on the Democratic side that could be like the next presidential nominee. Literally anybody would be better than Kamala Harris. I think somebody like Katie Porter is actually like a little bit better in the legislature, where she can draw attention more publicly to what goes on in there, because that's something that doesn't usually get a lot of public eyeballs. But yeah, probably AOC would be the first choice there. Biden could be my country's president's dad with the age gap. I still ship them though. Yeah, the presidency in the United States skews heavily towards wealth, whiteness, and height. Weirdly enough, you can't be short and be president. That's a real bias that exists. But there's also also the bias towards wealth. Patriotic values? No, they are bourgeois values. The disposition towards wealth is something that is needed to run a political campaign, and wealth skews with age. The vast majority of people who are wealthy are older. They are above the age of 50. And especially if you go to the age, I don't know, 18 to 30 demographic in the United States, you'd be hard-pressed to find the kind of wealth that you would find in older generations. And that's partly because generational wealth has been hollowed out in the United States. The methods of building generational wealth at a middle-class sort of level don't exist anymore. Yeah, what's up, 1v3? And, you know, I could go on about income inequality, but the long and the short of it is that because you have to have money in order to run a political campaign and get public exposure, and because a lot of this is about who you know, politicians are going to be disproportionately old relative to the general population, especially at the state and federal level. It's only at like the city council and local level that you actually get politicians that kind of look like the people they're representing as far as like age, wealth, and other demographic statistics. And sometimes even then. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. I wanted to talk about DeSantis and his fucking humiliation. That man, he ran just about the worst presidential campaign I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty bad campaigns, I'll be real. DeSantis, like, he's a hollow suit. I like, people have to understand this. DeSantis is barely even a person. And in fact, this is why the Republican Party liked him so much, is Trump has too much personality and charisma for the GOP to be able to, like, get a hold of him. And yeah, DeSantis is too short to be president. That's why he wore those high-heeled boots. That was a huge meme where DeSantis wore the high heels and whatever to make himself look taller. That's a very real thing. But also, him doing that made him look really bad. Almost worse than if he just sort of accepted the fact that, like, yeah, I'm not the tallest guy. The man just had no charisma. His voice sounded so grating. I would almost call him the Kamala Harris of the right wing. You know, if you've ever heard Kamala Harris talk, you'll know what I'm talking about, where she just has no flair, no charisma, is just terminally condescending and pandering and says nothing, and is like, just has almost a palpable disdain for the people that she has to address by virtue of being a politician. You know, Ron DeSantis was a little bit like that. There were some videos and photo shoots and whatnot where it was like, okay, you know, you got to smile for the camera, and you can see him gritting his teeth like he just hates everyone and everything, and it was like super off-putting, you know, especially considering Ron DeSantis' past in the U.S. Navy, that he oversaw and laughed at the torture of prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. Uh, you know, I think even in a normal climate, I think the Republicans would have been hard pressed to push him to victory, because the more time he spends on camera, the worse he looks. He's just like a fucking psychopath. I don't even understand why we talk about these nobodies when clearly the only person with a shot at being president is Hassan's uncle. True, that's so true. Jank sweep 2024. Oh fuck. Cenk has been having trouble, by the way, as well. Like, even getting on the ballot, because in some states you have to be a natural-born citizen to even run for president, to like be eligible. And Cenk was born in Turkey, so can't do it. Did I get 4th or 3rd? What place did I get? 4th. Okay. Very weird. Has anyone watched Atla? I don't know what that is, so safe to say no. Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, I have not watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've not seen that. I've heard good things about it, though. The one is scared that Cenk will try his luck in Turkey if he can in USA, so Turkey will have a regime change. Real and true. Cenk sweep, but Turkey this time. Yeah. If Cenk wins in USA, can he try to win in Turkey? No. Imagine being the president of 2 countries at the same time. But no, he can't do that. So people from Canada, the Netherlands, Germany, Latvia, and Lithuania sent some missiles to Russia in secret? Like, shipment? Like, weapons shipments? Or like, shot the missiles? First president of 2 countries? Real. They changed the law just so he can be president of 2 countries at the same time. That would be the funniest timeline. I'll grant that much. God damn it. I know that's slower, but I really like the prospect of having an item there. Oh, whoa! Okay, that's not a draft that I wanted. Get rid of that banana. I doubt we would send any rockets to Russia unless it's for the purpose of blowing up the Russians. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. 1v3. If you have a link, I would love to take a look at that. Ow. Unless it's some weird Russians in Lithuania. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, if it's like a contractor that's friendly to Russia or something. I don't know. Yeah. So I guess I learned not to take that first turn outside unless I really need an item. Okay. Heard about it on the news. Okay. If you do find a link, post it in chat, and I will talk more about it. But given that I don't have any information on that to go on, I don't know what I would make of it. So El Bozo, no DeSantis. Russians sending them to Russia to use against Ukraine. That would make the most sense. God, the West made such a fucking big mistake by not supporting Ukraine when... Well, I mean, Europe still is, but the United States, man. The United States is such a fucking bad ally to other countries. Holy shit. Unless you're Israel, Jesus Christ. Israel, the United States is the best ally that Israel could ever fucking ask for in the region. Meanwhile, we're over here shortchanging Ukraine. Eastern Europe knew that shit will go down with Russia for a while. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was pretty obvious in the lead-up that, prior to the war in Ukraine, it was pretty obvious that something was coming from Russia's end of things. You know, because Russia has had territorial ambitions in the region for a long time. They were really mad, not just about the dissolution of the Soviet Union, but also because of, the shock therapy. Ow! Damn, I've been Mario Karted half just by the track itself. Huh. Wild. I'm not driving great this session. Support Palestinians, but think that Hamas is very cringe. This is the correct position to have. Granted, I haven't even heard jack shit from Hamas the past few weeks. Hamas did October 7th, terrorist attack, cringe, stupid. And then Israel just responded with so much disproportionate force that nothing else. And then it was just Israel being okay, now we're going Joker mode. Hamas about to dissolve after we just condemned them. True. Look, let's be, and I wanted to bring this up a little bit. I don't usually allocate too much space to talking about Israel-Palestine on stream because it's ongoing conflict's been happening for such a long time, and I think I said all I wanted to say about it in the first 2 days of it happening when I made those video segments back when. But Israel is God's gift to Hamas recruiters. Aren't we all a bit of extremist Islamic terrorists at heart? Many such cases. Who among us is not an Islamist terrorist? Yes. In fact, Israel is such a boost to the reputation of Hamas that in the occupied West Bank, Hamas is starting to gain a presence where they previously had none. I don't know. You guys have probably seen what's going on in the West Bank, where Israel's been bulldozing houses and like arming settlers and just basically declaring open season on Palestinian villagers. Um, but like there was no Hamas there. There wasn't for the longest time. But now that they've been doing this for like a couple of months, where they've been like shooting villagers and like violently clearing the way for more Israeli settlement, Hamas has started to gain traction in the West Bank because people hate what Israel is doing so much. Even with what Israel was doing before, there was no Hamas in the West Bank. And now there is because of Israel's actions. So, you know, what's funny is that, like, a person who understands in passing that Hamas is bad and cringe and an Islamist terrorist org cares more about that than Netanyahu does. In fact, Netanyahu has an inverse motive. He wants Hamas to be as strong as possible to delegitimize the cause for a Palestinian state and to give Israel ample justification to basically ethnically cleanse Palestinians from the region. He's even said as much on camera. Granted, he would never say it in English, but he will say it in Hebrew, because he knows that's when the West is kind of not watching. Also, we're on my favorite track again. Hebrew is a sleeper language. Yeah, it makes Joe very sleepy. That's true. Many such cases. I wanna finish out this lap, and then I'll talk about another thing that I think I had written down. I might even try to find another custom track room, because this one seems like it's just kind of shrinking all the time. That's not going to do anything, but whatever. Nope. All right, cool. By the way, Baltics are creating a shared defensive line as we speak. That's good. That's smart. You know, any deterrence from Russia attacking in that region makes it all the less likely that Russia will do anything. They're even going to mine the border with Russia. Technically a war crime, but we look the other way because Russia isn't gonna, follow those rules. Yeah. And as long as Estonia has like the complete map of like where those mines are laid, then that means that they can potentially they can dig them up in the future, which is good. A lot of trenches, yeah, that makes sense. Entrenchments, mines, initial lines of defense, making it as hard as possible for Russia to even get past that. Yeah. And of course, I actually think that, even still, I don't think that Russia would really try anything, but I think this makes it even less likely, and I think it's smart just on that grounds that okay, this is all like insurance that if Russia tries something, they get stabbed immediately. Oh yeah, actually I mentioned that I don't frequently want to talk about Israel-Palestine, but there was one other thing that came up that was so fucked up that it was, bizarre. We're gonna spend billions on defense? Billions! More billions, even. Gorillions of money. Yes. Yeah, if only the United States was spending money on that stuff. Instead, we're spending it on, like, fucking space military tech or whatever. The United States, like, has nothing to do with with all the money that we give the military, so we just kind of do research on shit that's, like, 30 years ahead of the rest of the world. It's pretty wild. Yeah. Oh yeah, this was something that I came across. I will every day I read the Al Jazeera like live feed for updates in Palestine, and at sometimes it can get a little bit like, what's the term? It's like misery porn, suffering porn, or whatever. It like sometimes it gets pretty gratuitous, but I'm mostly looking for like big new developments, significant new developments in the conflict and whatever, as well as sort of trying to keep myself appraised of the real situation. So if somebody says some propagandistic shit, I can like very very easily go to like, no, it's not what's happening. Anyways, one of the things I came across in the Al Jazeera live feed was something that actually made me do a double take. Like, fucking, I did not know this was the case, and it makes Israel look even worse. Apparently, Palestinians pay taxes to Israel. You know, there's the Palestinian Authority and the PLO and like whoever else that are kind of form the shadow of a state in Palestine where it maybe once existed. And I always kind of assumed that like if Palestinians pay taxes or anything, they would pay them directly to the Palestinian Authority or to the you know, whoever it is, right? But no, apparently Israel collects taxes from the Palestinians. And then they're like, Palestinian Authority, you can have some of that tax money to do whatever with. Like, basically, the Palestinian Authority is functionally a non-profit that exists at the behest of Israel, which is fucking wild to me. It's insane. I honestly, knowing this, it makes it even more insane that anybody could have defended before the situation that Israel and Palestine were both in. That, like, yeah, it's perfectly fine that Palestinians live the way they do, with them paying taxes to Israel, a state that they are not allowed to legally participate in, and if they are only permitted as second-class citizens. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Absolutely bonkers stuff. Yeah, look, under the terms of a deal reached in the 1990s, this is from the Al Jazeera article, Israel collects tax on behalf of the Palestinians and makes monthly transfers to the Palestinian Authority, pending the approval of the Israeli Ministry of Finance. Now Israel says it will instead send the frozen funds to Norway. One day America will surpass the military might have Lithuania, maybe, probably not. Naturally. It's like literally paying tribute to a foreign occupying nation, because that's exactly what it is. Israel's an occupying state in Palestine, and the like people in Palestine are having to pay tribute to them just for the, I don't know, fucking resources that they could have had if it were not for Israel, like, taking them. God, that's fucked up. Use a cart for one race? I will. Just tell me what cart, or if you don't have a preference, then I'll just pick one. After this race, I'll use a cart. You choose? Okay. Yeah, poor bastard. I don't know what to do with these mushrooms. It's 100cc. I don't know if the double shortcut is possible on 100. I'm gonna assume that it's not, and I'll just do the regular shortcut. Ah, they got me. The worst, which I forgot. Yeah, I might be inclined to... Oh, fucking hell. I might be inclined to go Wild Wing. I might also want to go Heavyweight or something. In fact, I think Heavyweight would be the play, if anything, you know? I like the Dragster and the Blooper. Those are definitely funny cars, but they're really not good. This actually works out, kind of. Let all these guys pass. And I need an item. Ow. Well. I didn't really want to be this far behind, but this is okay. Alright, 3 mushrooms. No, god damn it. It is 100cc after all, yeah. Alright. Golden mushroom. Let's hope this is possible. Oh yeah, it's possible. Okay. Damn it, I hit the grass. Really not driving good. Yeah. Sure, next race. Okay. I think you have to hit start when the next screen comes up in order to switch like character vehicle combo. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, okay. Wow, what a room I'm stuck with here. All right, Dry Bowser, let's go. And I will use the... Sure, I'll use the Flame Flyer. Yeah. I'll vote for the next course. Let's... I don't know, fuck it. Putting the cart back in Mario Kart. Let's go. Hey, Dry Ruins, let's go. Couldn't have picked a better track. This is almost positively gonna be 100, yeah. Alright, let's get it. Ah, I meant to throw that forwards. Dang it. Alright, give me this. Yes. Snake? Yes! Snaking is so good! No! Ah, damn it. Don't know how to do that part with a cart, so I got fucked. Whoa! I got no air off of that. That's kind of crazy. Give me an item? Yes. Red shell? Perfect. Perfect. Get him. Yes! Dude, playing Mario Kart on a cart is actually kind of hype. Come on, pass me, idiot. Get him. I swear I almost got the wall glitch there. That would have been insane. Ow. I'm gonna lose a lot of VR for this, but I don't care, because it's fun. Yeah. I have to do that. Okay. Mega Mushroom, let's go. Give me that. Alright, sick. Give me that. Ah, no! I didn't mean to do that! Damn it. That was such a bad, Oh, I thought I would be able to use my Mega in time. Oh, well. Honestly, I drove so well considering that this is... I had a cart. I might still... Imagine. Did I just get second? Oh my god. Alright, I'm getting out of this room. I gotta find a different room. There you go. There's your race with a cart. Hope that was good. Let's go back to I'll go back to using a bike for now. 9,069? That's the perfect VR. By the way, this might be jumping the gun, but I did actually want to do a thing where, like, if you donate, I will 100% drive it, like, whatever vehicle character combo you tell me to. You know, fuck it. I will shill out for the content. I will shill out for the viewers specifically. Yeah. God damn it, is there nobody online? That would be disappointing. Come on. Alright, let's go back to regular worldwides, I guess. And by the way, since today's a short stream, I'm only going to be going until, I think, 2:30. And then I'll be done. So it's going to be a little bit over an hour since I started early. Started like 5 minutes early, so. Dude, did anybody... So, should Lithuania annex Kaliningrad? No. I don't think so. I honestly don't know, like... I don't know how Kaliningrad became the situation that it is, but, like... Fuck if I know, dude. I mean, in the absence of a, like, really clear picture of, like, this land was, like, very recently taken from a certain country, I guess I would just say that, like, look, whatever nation currently holds it, you continue to hold it. Russians stole it from the Germans, did a funny genocide meme. In that instance, then, like, that's pretty fucked up. But how long ago was that? That was, it's right after World War II that territory changed hands, right? I don't know if there's much that could be done about that. Yeah. Genocide of the Baltics who live there, though. Yeah, I know, and that's bad. People get too hung up on borders and which land belongs to who. Really just a genocide pie? Yeah, that's true. That, honestly, that describes a lot of Eastern Europe. And, you know, a lot of places in general. I think it's just, for any given place, it's a matter of how recent it is. Alright, Desert Hills. Ow. They offered Kaliningrad to Lithuania like they gave Crimea to Ukraine. Huh. And then I assume Lithuania refused, because that territory didn't change hands. Good thing I used that when I did. Because stinky Russians live there. Ah, yes, racism. The timeless best friend of the nation state. Man, I'm getting quite a few fortuitously timed item usages. Bandlord, don't get it twisted. I have a red shell, but I have very little interest in taking over first. I'll even go wide here. Yeah. I have another red shell. That's why I was offered to exert power of population with the Russian population. You sent some in Discord? Okay. Give me that mushroom. Crimea was given to Ukraine for a similar reason. Huh. Interesting. Also, I'm getting blown up at the last fucking part of this, and I didn't get an item. Somehow got 5th. Okay. There was one last thing that I wanted to talk about. That was to me, it was really funny because you know there's this might not 100% apply here, but there's a phrase about the Nosbel vortex. I don't know if you guys know about the Nosbel vortex, but some people say like, oh, look at this, the Nosbel vortex is closing. What that basically means is that there are some people that sort of play at the notion that they're on the left, that at some notion of populism, but really they're really doing that as a wedge to draw people to the right, to like socially conservative positions. And one example of this is actually the TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists, people who are nominally feminists, but who base a lot of their political identity and in a lot of their cases their personality on hating trans people and saying trans women are not women, which is demonstrably not true. You don't need a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or any degree in sociology to figure this out. The tankies of feminism. Yes, they are basically the tankies of feminism. And recently, the TERF vortex, as you sort of have the Nosbel vortex, has been closing. I saw something from Katie Montgomery. I think she's a trans woman who does like these like cartoons. She calls them Katie's shit cartoons, which is they're very cute. She's mostly talks about British politics, and recently apparently there was a push within the sort of gender critical or TERF circles. They say, hey, we should stop calling ourselves TERFs or gender criticals, because they kind of wanted to get around the fact that a lot of people would hear the labels that they called themselves and then immediately think, oh, so you're a transphobe, right? And rightly so. If somebody says they're a TERF, that literally means they're transphobic. The TE in TERF stands for trans exclusionary. And then same thing for gender critical. Britain equals TERF Island. Yes, this is true. But, recently TERFs have been sort of getting wise to that rhetoric. So here from Katie Montgomery, that one I guess prominent TERF account. Should we all abandon the term gender critical and use sex realist instead? And that this was a poll. 73%, yes, it's much clearer. 22%, no new terms, please. 5%, I did so ages ago. Now, obviously, polls on Twitter are, not scientific or anything, but Holy shit! That is. I think that is incredible for two reasons. First, it is hilarious, and second, this ties into the reason it's hilarious. It is exactly what people who are racist call themselves. Just swap sex for race. People who are racist but want to allude to some vague scientific justification for believing that black people are inferior call themselves race realists. Oh, you see, I'm not a racist or anything. I'm just a realist. I'm willing to acknowledge the fact that, the white man is actually the Ubermensch, and etc., etc. Something, something, 1350. You know the drill, right? And yeah, this language is actually perfect for for derfs. Because at the end of the day, TERFs aren't feminists. They never actually cared about the advancement of women's rights and the deconstruction of patriarchy. If they did, then they would care a lot about trans rights, because trans rights is fundamentally a rejection of the heteronormative standards that have been set for people. Questioning the gender roles that you are assigned is to question the immutability of patriarchy. But trans people don't care about the immutability of patriarchy. They care about using it as a wedge to draw women to the right. Or just to, fearmonger about trans people, which is also a thing that frequently happens. Average TERF island activity, I guess. Oh, got a weird jump there, and he swerved that bullet to hit me. So I was trying to go to the right. Anywho, give me an item. Gold. I'll probably use that right here. I don't know of much better of a place to use it, really. And would you look at that? Runs out right here. Perfect. I don't want your thundercloud, bro. That was a very awkward last section, but I made it work. One green shell. I can work with that. There we go. That's how you're supposed to do that section. Ow. I don't need any items for this section. Red shells will probably just drop into the abyss. I would probably need an item here. Dang it. Gimme. Or not. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna get second. Okay. So yeah, the TERF vortex is closing. I think I also remember seeing a an article here. Hold on, which portrayed a similar sentiment. Here, hold on. Where was it? There was a article written by like a gender critical person, like a TERF. Oh, oops. I'm looking for this specific article. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here it is. The title of this article was actually changed. So from the "we're definitely the real radical feminist crowd," I bring you "Feminism has a women problem," or the article title that this used to be, "There's a problem with feminism and it's women." I'm not joking. I think the first paragraph tells us all everything that we need to know. A darkly welcome side effect of the cultural stranglehold of gender identity is the overdue shattering of progressive illusions. Wow, okay. And they just say, men and women are not basically the same, physically nor behaviorally. You can be whoever you want to be sounds nice, but it is unsustainable for a functioning society when taken to its logical endpoint. Oh shit, they're just Hitler. Okay, cool. I don't think I need to read any more of that article. That is the people. Those are the people in Britain and elsewhere who call themselves feminists when they're talking about like how trans women aren't women and all that. And just to like at a very base level dispel those arguments. Yes, men and women are actually behaviorally and physically basically the same. There are like hormone differences and whatever, but like a person is a person. There's a reason that we have a field called human psychology and not like male and female psychology, because that would be stupid. People's psychologies are very similar. People act more or less the same way with respect to the society and body politic in which they live. All like gendered behaviors are learned and like slapped on top of what is already there. The human core is all the same, and men and women are really not different enough for you to need to point that out. Even at a physical level, like, hormones are just, like, slightly different sets of instructions. People's bodies are pretty samey. To such a degree that we actually have a hard time identifying, in the archaeological record, whether someone is, more masculine or feminine, because skeletons can be, it can be kind of tricky. But, you know, here I go getting into specifications and such that aren't really necessary. Oh, poor bastard. He's getting Mario Karted back there. Okay, I almost got hit by that. So, you know, I'm sure this isn't really news to anybody, but TERFs are not feminists. They just like using the label of feminists to advance conservative policymaking because they talk a lot about what a woman is, you know, and who gets to be a woman or not. And I tell you, gatekeeping identity behind patriarchal standards is not very feminist of you. It's got to be said. That was the craziest finish to a race I've just about ever seen. And that might be my last race of the day. It was pretty good. I didn't drive all too well. Oh, I got first somehow. Okay, great. Thank you, game. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't drive great, but I'm not super dissatisfied with my performance either. I think this was a good stream. Anyways. Have a good one, laters. Thank you, and I will. Let me see if there's anybody live, in order to raid. And then I'll get on out of here. Actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to do a raid today, because there was another stream that I wanted to watch. So in the meantime, I will catch you all later.